So today we're going to introduce the Droid RAZR by Motorola, and what we have here is our first thinnest smartphone for Verizon Wireless. And what you'll see here is a very beautiful sculpted glass. So when you look at it straight on, you get this feeling of a very refined design due to the sculpted glass. Also, we've used diamond cut earpiece and the volume key to give it a very refined look. From an overall design standpoint, you'll see the tapered corners from a design language perspective. And then we've introduced a new material, which is called Kevlar. That's typically found in high-performance cars, high-end skis, and we've introduced it in the Motorola Droid RAZR, which allows us to really get that thinness to a 7.1 millimeter. The Kevlar allows us multiple things. One, it gives us a very solid feel from a thinness perspective, and then the next thing it allows us to do is get to that thickness that we're looking for. And then from a feel perspective, most people think of Kevlar, bulletproof vest would be rough, but when you feel this, it's a very nice soft touch feel to it. And it's really, if you look at it, fingerprints, you don't see them because of the way the material is designed. We've taken great care on how the Kevlar sits into the device and how it performs and complements the overall thickness of the device. Again, it's 7.1 millimeters, the thinnest smartphone that's out there. Again, it's an 8 megapixel camera. It's got a 1080p HD video capture. We've got two connectors up top. We have a micro USB and an HDMI out. Also, we have a 3.5 millimeter audio jack. What you see is when you turn on the phone is you'll get this really sharp display that allows us to either launch the camera or unlock as a typical Android phone. And then you'll see the display really pop because we're using the AMOLED advanced display. This allows us a high contrast ratio, 16,000 to 1, a good color rendition, so all the colors that you see, for example, using Netflix, you'll see the visuals really pop from a color saturation perspective, and you'll get a wide color contrast from black to white just because it's using the AMOLED advanced display. A couple of things that this device has on the inside. It has the waterproof nanotechnology coating, splash guard, which allows us to protect the device from inadvertent spills, and also it allows us to ensure that the electronics are protected even on the inside should some material get in there. Okay? And then the other thing that you don't see on this device, this is a integrated battery. It's a 1780 milliamp hour battery, which allows us to really extend the battery life, so it's about 12 hours of talk time or 8 hours of video time. And then from a software feature perspective, we've introduced MotoCast, which allows us to do some of our really cool experiences around the gallery. So you can go into your camera roll and look at your pictures that you've taken. You'll see that, again, very vibrant display. Or what you could do is you can start using this idea of MotoCast, which allows us to connect your home computer, your work computer, and if your computer's online, you'll be able to see all the files that you allowed it to share. So just go to the Motorola website, download the client, and then you'll have access to your documents, pictures, videos on this particular device. And then if you want to look at your pictures on the computer, these are all the pictures on a computer that's been set up. You can just tap on it and get access to that. So again, taking the connectivity one step further, which is getting your documents on the device. Also, we've introduced this smartphone to be even smarter by using this idea called Smart Action. So when you go into the app tray, you'll see this particular Smart Action button, which allows us to basically create some rules. So what we want to do is not only have we made this phone thinner to 7.1 millimeter, we've not only included a very high capacity battery, which is 1780 milliamp hour, we included this idea of smart actions, which allows us to set up some simple rules that make the phone smarter. You set it up once and you don't have to worry about it. So for example, this is a trigger based on location. So if once you set up that you work at a particular location, based on your GPS, it will trigger some actions. For example, in this case, it will set ringer volume to vibrate only. So when you come into work, you don't have to worry about your personal ringtones being broadcasted to everyone else. It can just go to vibrate. Also, you can set up these other triggers or little connectors that kind of send a text message. It says, you can send it to your admin, or your friend said, hey, I'm at work, let's go for coffee kind of thing. So again, very, very flexible. And we've pre-populated a lot of these rules for you, so you don't have to sit there trying to figure out what kind of rules. And once you go through this, you'll realize that the power of smart actions really come through based on this flexibility of the different rules that you can set up. So one of the things that we've pre-populated is the nighttime battery saver. You can set up a particular time where you want this action to start, and then all of a sudden you can extend your battery life by up to 30% just by using some of these pre-populated rules.
Okay. Great. Thank you so much.
No problem.